Good evening, sports fans. I apologize for the delay this evening. Was getting a few things done for Mom Dukes, and hey, it's Christmas Eve. Can't keep that from not happening. And happy holidays to everyone out there in the world, sports world, anywhere that you may be. Now, today's show is all about the Christmas Day games we have. We got the NFL on a Christmas Day this year, and as well as the usual with the NBA Christmas Day game slates. And before we step into that, we just gonna throw one out there for that college football bowl game that's going on right now, in a game with the South Florida Bulldogs with the San Jose State squad. And I was gonna pick San Jose State to win this game myself, as I know we spoke about last week when we were talking about these picks. My thing was they had one of the best receivers I feel like in college football as well. And this year, different receivers we have, but definitely San Jose State, I think, will win this game this evening. And it just kicked off, I believe, at 8 o'clock. And that is the only college football game that we have going on that is scheduled until, of course, that wonderful playoff slate. Now, for today's show, we have that good NFL along with the NBA slate of Christmas Day games. And appreciate those tuning in. Once again, happy holidays from Level Up Sports 10, from WTP Sports Dudes, Zen Master, FanDuel, Zay, and as well as Man of Many Hats, Ask Somebody, City League TV, and the man with many parlays that'll have your wallet so stacked you won't know what to do when payday come. Parlay Po. Even though the guys is not here, man, always shouting the guys out, man, because we always stay in sync together. So one of the most anticipated games I think this season is happening on Christmas Day. So young kids, teenagers, and of course those football adults, everybody in the sports world, and even some of the young ones that's in the sports world will be tuned in to the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game for me, personally, I feel like is one of the games of the season because you have two teams right now in Pittsburgh that's taken a few tough losses, which if things could have went a certain way, I feel they definitely could have won. And we already know what the Kansas City Chiefs bring to the table. Two-time Super Bowl champs. Some people are starting to say that it's possible that they could three-peat. I can't remember the last three-peats we've seen in sports. It's just, the sports have been going so good. It might have been hockey. Can't remember exactly what sport, but three-peat, Kansas City, is it possible? That's the question. And for me, no. And in this game, specifically with these Pittsburgh Steelers, we have Chiefs favored by 2.5, and the over and under is 43.5. My thoughts coming in, man, these teams can put up some points. They definitely can, but they both can play some great defense. But they're going to Pittsburgh. I was on a journey, and I rode by that stadium. It's going to be a packed house. Christmas Day. There's going to be people giving out great Christmas gifts, of course, throughout the stadium locker room, all through Pittsburgh and all across the world. And in this one, Minka, let me get one of them Christmas gifts to the house on a pick six for your Pittsburgh Steelers. So myself, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers winning this game. And I don't think that Kansas City is going to get them 2.5 as well because I'm taking Pittsburgh. But I think this game, I think you're going to definitely have quite a few points on the board in this game with the mere fact that the offense on Pittsburgh's side hasn't been as like we have thought it would be in the last, I would say, few weeks. It's time to get the ball rolling back on that side of Russell Wilson, throwing that deep ball a a little more. Even though Pickens has been out, they do have a few pieces that can make some catches. But when it comes to that long ball, I think they definitely need to get back to that long ball to get a win. And definitely in this game against Kansas City, they need to have that passing game on point, like a number 2 pencil with a period at the end of the sentence. The next game we have up is another big game. We have Lamar Jackson. We have King Henry. We have those Baltimore Ravens. Let me not forget about Zay Flowers, that is, who had a Benji last week. King Henry went for $162. Action Jackson looking like an MVP as well. And I think in this game, Baltimore has to come out and make a statement early in Houston. We know how Houston's defense can play, but they're missing a big piece on the offensive side. And Tank Dell, that is, we just, wish you well and all when it comes to your recovery and that injury. It's just tough to see those type of injuries, in the sports world and just, within itself in life. Hope you get back soon, get well soon as well, and just get back to just moving around, within itself. Everything else will come along, in due time. That's something that I go by with some things, and in due time is what I'm gonna say when it comes back to getting on the field and moving around in a certain way. So with this game, you got Baltimore as favored by 5.5 points, and you got 46.5, as you see, as the over and under, and we know Baltimore definitely can score some points. When that machine is kicking, man, they can score some points with the best of them. And Houston, we know what they can look like when they put in points on the board. And with Tank Dell out, there's some big shoes to fill on that offensive side of the ball. And when it comes to C.J. Stroud, I do love C.J. Stroud as far as I love him, and he's a great quarterback, all those good things. But I think he needs to step his game up a little bit. And this one here, for Houston to get the win, step into that leadership role a little more. And I don't know if it's a sophomore slump that he's going through. I don't know exactly, but he's having something like that, as we talked about. But I would like to see him get out of it. But Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens, get a big win in Houston. And guess what? I think that'll help those Cincinnati Bengals out. You see it. Who they? Big Nation. And it's in the background as well. So with those two games being played on Christmas Day, those are two games definitely that I'm sure everybody will be tuned into and getting a piece of all that good action when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs at the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens at the Houston Texans. And like I said, we're going to come to you with a little bit of those NBA games as well to follow up, because it is Christmas Day. It is a lot of football. It is a lot of basketball that's going to be going on. And when you're a sports junkie like we are here at WTP Sports Dudes and Level Up Sports 10, we stay locked into the sports, and we try to see what's going on each and every day. And on the weekends, we feel like, man, we just be going after it, going crazy. So many hours of just studying and doing what we do, man. And we definitely love it. And I'm not talking about Mickey D's. So please come with the next one, which is Seattle at Chicago. And this one is on Thursday. This is the Thursday night action. Seattle at Chicago. Seattle's still trying to fight to find their way into these playoffs. They took a tough loss last week. Pretty tough loss. And, for me, I've picked Seattle. I've went against Seattle. You know me, man. My picks be all over the place. Everybody knows that. And for this one specifically, I'm going to definitely see Geno going a little crazy when it comes to him getting that ball, Smith and Jigba, and as well as Metcalf. I'm not for sure what the injury chart is on Lockett, but I think he went out with a concussion last week or something, but I'm not for sure exactly towards the end of that game. But if he's playing, that's definitely a much more needed boost for that offense in Seattle. And I think that they come out on top in this game. And it's 3.5. I say Seattle get it by a touchdown and a 43.5. You never know. Williams could put up some points and make it a shootout. That's the one thing you don't know what you're going to get when it comes to Chicago. You don't know what you're going to get week in, week out. But Williams is capable of doing those type of things. So in this game here, I'm going to go ahead and take the Seattle Seahawks. And that's by a touchdown at Chicago and a much-needed game that they'll need to stay into that playoff hunt and a wild card as well. The next game that we got coming up, I think this game is pretty big. We like it. We need that help, New England. And y'all playing at home in this one. And I believe this is a division game. I'm not 100% sure. Don't get me wrong. Some things I do be forgetting in this division. But the thing is, New England is in terrible need of a win because they've been playing some great games. Drake May is looking real good in that uniform when it comes to these New England Patriots and them getting better as the years progress in the years to come. But me personally, I think the Chargers have been backfiring, and I'm talking about one of those good cars that you hear rolling up the street, getting that good. They're starting to slow down, and we don't really know what's going on. Even though they did get a win last week, we, myself, just don't know how dangerous they can be. Just the way they've been playing the last few weeks. And I'm going with the New England Patriots. I'm going with the New England Patriots in this one because I feel that they could get a big win at home and they could derail the hopes of these Chargers getting into the playoffs. And I think that's something that they would definitely love when it comes to the New England Patriots. They would definitely love to beat a team like the Chargers and take them out of what's going on when it comes to the playoffs. So this next game we have that'll be coming up. This is the night game. It's a triple header with the Chargers and Patriots at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Of course, we'll talk about that other team that's coming up as well. But the one we have on that 8 o'clock slate is those Arizona Cardinals at the Los Angeles Rams. And the thing about these Rams, man, I think they are a pretty scary team, man, especially if they get in these playoffs because we've been seeing great things with this Rams team, even though it's games where they have lost some close ones in the game, can't make that final move or just get down the field. But one thing about this LA Rams team is you should definitely put some respect on their name because they're making a run even for that division. And in this one, they're favored by 6.5. The over-under is 47.5. So you got the Rams at home, got the Cardinals coming in, taking the Rams by 10. I think it's going to be a shootout. I know Stafford is definitely capable of throwing up 30 to 40 points. And we know what the young guy over there and Murray could do. But I don't think he's enough for Stafford and that receiving core, Kyren Williams, that Rams defense at home, as they continue to take strides and move up in that NFC. Got the Rams in this one by 10. The next game we have up, last game we have on the NFL side of things as we slide over to the NBA after this one. I'm going to just look at this one for a minute because I don't know if this one is bigger than any game of the season or what. This might be the game of the week, in my opinion, because I think this game eliminates or keeps either team in that playoff. or Bongos, Bengals, whoever you want to call them. But for us, it's Who They Nation. You see it, Cincinnati. And I feel we're going to come in at home. We're going to host the Broncos, but we walking out with a 10-point victory. And our stadium going to be rocking. I'm going with the over because I think Burrow is going to come out and have flashes and do more than that 5-touchdown performance. Interesting. So make sure that you tune in. You see it. The jungle's roaring. We ready for this weekend. And I think it's just going to be a win that we not only need, not only pushes closer and inches right to that position to where we that much of a way of that close to just that win and we in. So definitely got Who They Nation or Bengal City League TV. I asked somebody getting this big win this coming weekend. Now, the next thing we're gonna talk about, we're gonna switch it up a little bit and tap in to something we haven't really tapped in much to. We've talked a little bit here and there about it. It's the NBA. You got a great slate of NBA teams. You got the third best team in the East. You got the fourth best team in the West. You got the second best team in the East. You got the 12th best in Philly in the East out there. They going against the Boston Celtics. But let's get to this first game that we got. This first game is going down in the Garden, the Mecca. It is going down in the Garden. And growing up, there was a guy, we called him Spurs. San Antonio Spurs is going to the Garden to face, I'm going to just call them the New York Knickerbockers, but you can call them the New York Knicks. You know what I mean? Because they just been balling. They've been doing their thing. They third in the East right now. And when you think about New York basketball, all you think about is bright lights, camera, action. You got to be ready for whatever's going down when it comes to the basketball and the Mecca. It's the Garden. It is the Garden. Everybody comes to the Garden to showcase their talent and play a big game. And guess who's coming to town to New York City on Christmas Day? My question is, do we got a gift bag? Do we got an express card? They tapping in, giving him love. I call him 7'5" and above. I call him Wimbo. He's coming into the Garden. You know, and I was thinking about a name to call that young bull that they got in the Garden, man. When I say he got the Garden jumping like a party on on 55th Street, you know, he got it rocking, man. And that's Jalen Brunson. That young bull can rock. And in this game, man, this is going to be a great one. You got Jalen Brunson. You got Wembanyama. You got, SoCal. I mean, you got so many different players in this game. You got, of course, the man Towns. You know, he's been coming into himself lately. So the Knicks are favored by 9.5. And the over and under is 223.5. You know, my thoughts when I seen this was, man, that's a lot of points. That's a lot of points, but at the same time, I said, man, the NBA don't be playing much defense, so that really ain't, too many points the way they play the game. That's a lot of points that they're going to give up, a lot of points somebody going to get. But for me, I'm going with the under, and I'm going with the New York. Wemby and the Garden. Man, this is so many Knicks fans we know, and this is a tough pick, man, for me because I like Brunson. I like what they got going on in New York. But Wembanyama, Christmas Day, in the Garden. I like being that person. I'm going Wimbo and these San Antonio Spurs in the Garden for the win, just because I'm always going with the different picks and just doing those type of things, making it fun. So everybody, of course, probably got the Knicks winning. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the Spurs in this one. And I just think Wemby's gonna come out. I have such a performance in the Garden on Christmas Day. I just like what he brings to the table and the development and how he's starting to make players around him better, just with the way he can pass the ball, play defense. He's bringing that trust within his teammates at a young age, and we seeing something we haven't seen in Wembayama, Winbo, as I call it. The next game we got coming up for our Christmas slate, those Minnesota Timberwolves at the Dallas Mavericks. You got Anthony Edwards, you got Julius Randle, you got Ferguson, you got Conley coming in. You got quite a few players in this game on Minnesota, and then you got the triple-headed monster over there in Dallas with Young Lively, Gafford, and Gang, and that triple-headed monster with Irving, Doncic, and Klay Thompson. I think once they figure out some things with that Dallas rotation and they're a healthy team, full throttle going into the playoffs, I'm thinking that, and I know that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And they have Dallas favored in this game by 5.5 points. They got the over and under at 220 points. You got the 10th team in the West in Minnesota. You got the 4th team in the West in Dallas. And a lot of people have Minnesota winning this game. Anthony Edwards, don't get me wrong, he's great. I like what he's doing. Young talent, going to change the game in so many ways, man. And just keep balling, young fella. Same thing to you as well, Randall. And Gobert, don't worry about what they talk about when it comes to layups and things like that, man. You didn't start playing basketball, Gobert, until you was older, Rudy. So keep doing what you do, man. Get paid, be that defensive gem that you are. That's what they pay you for, is to play defense. So in this game, I have those Dallas Mavericks with a win. And I think that Dallas could pull this game out just with the fact of having a Kyrie Irving at the guard, making a difference in not just his distributing of the ball, but he can also put that rock in the hole. He can do so many things when it comes to that, the leadership that he has on the floor, the double teams that he commands in different ways and that he drives, which gives him the opportunity to kick it out to Klay and the other guys to have those open looks and get those big buckets. So in that one, I definitely had those Mavericks winning and coming out on top in this one at home against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The next one we have coming up, I think, is a pretty good game. Pretty good game on both sides, because you're going to see a little bit of the dynamic duo. We don't know if Jaylen Brown is going to be ready to play on Christmas Day, but you definitely have a team in the Boston Celtics at home. Christmas buckets, Christmas baskets. And you got Philly that's coming in. A team that really hasn't surfaced yet. They've been hurt pretty much all season, pretty much since they've made the acquisition of Paul George along to go with a few other pieces. And I don't know, man. And B, man, I know what you bring to the table, man. I like your game, man. Nothing against it, man. Just take your big ass down low a couple times, man. Get dunk on somebody, man. We don't want to see you all outside the paint all the time, man. You 7'2" and B, go down low, dunk on a few folks, posterize them, and get them yams in. It's Christmas Day, man. Get your ball on in Boston. But I'm taking the C's in this one, ladies and gentlemen. I got the C's popping threes, and this is parlay post swap, and we talked about them. What is this Boston team going to do? The over and under is 221 points. In that Dallas game against Minnesota, they don't play much defense. You going $2. So I think that Anthony Edwards, to get back to that one with the over and under, I'm going to take the over in that Dallas and Minnesota game and back to this Philly-Boston game. Boston be putting up a lot of threes, but they play defense. I don't think Philly could get 100 points, but I definitely think that Boston can. I got Boston in a win in this one. They might win by about 15, 16. double that 8.5, at least 16-point win. So with that being said, for me, I just want them to get healthy. What's going on? What's going on, nephew? Man, it's good to see you in here, man. Appreciate you tuning in, man. We getting into this basketball season on the NBA side, man, and we just locking in and tuning into these Christmas Day games. We just doing a lot of things on this side as we transitioning through a lot of our NFL and college football season as it's coming to a close slowly but surely. So we dibbling and dabbling into the NBA season, man. Good to see you tuning in. And I appreciate you as well. Make sure you check out those high school live streams. I definitely know you'll be enjoying that, man, and blessing the likes and looks of yourself and what you'll see in those streams. So back to the Philly at Boston. You got Tatum, you got Jaylen Brown. You know, you got, man, two young stars, man. If they keep these guys together, are there people or players that want to come to Boston? That want to come to Boston for sure. You already know it, man. Appreciate it, no doubt. And then you got people that's going to possibly want to stay in Boston for less money. We don't know what's going on over there in Boston, but it's looking good. Parlay Poe, they stirring something up, and we definitely feeling it over there in Boston. And you call it Beans, Bean Town over there. And the next game we got coming up, this is a lot of people's GOAT. You know, a lot of people talk about him to the extent of GOAT status every which way, including and over. Some would say that is the GOAT. In this game, I say you're going to see one of the best shooters, if not the best shooter in the history of the game of basketball. And then you're going to see one of the GOATs in this game of basketball. You got the Los Angeles Lakers against the Golden State Warriors. I'm going to just sit here. I'm going to think for a second. You got your Lakers, man. They sitting at 7th right now in the West. And shout out to King James, man. You doing what you do, man. But Anthony Davis, you been doing your thing too, man. So once connect them checkers in Dalton, that is, I think that you will see a totally different Laker team that may even elevate. But in this game here, you know, I called that Cade Cunningham, and you could go rewind the tape from last night on the stream we had. I called that Cade Cunningham over the Lakers when that Pistons-Laker game went off. Curry's been off the last few games. I'm about to get to you on that note about this here. I'll get to you on that shortly, nephew. Appreciate what you're saying and appreciate the thoughts. So stay tuned in because I got something for your mind. You got these Lakers. I think they definitely can make a run. I think they can make a push. I like them. And you got the King. But in this here game, Curry been off for the last few games. Yeah, it's Christmas Day. So what you think he trying to put out there for the world to see on Christmas? He not shooting no bricks. Guess who getting up shots right now? Curry. He might be getting shots up right now at home with the big boy garage. But with that being said, I'm taking the Golden State Warriors, and I'm calling Curry for 30. And I need all them holiday buckets, Christmas style. And I'm going to call 5 threes from deep. And he got his assassin with him and Buddy Hield, not to mention the role players in Kuminga. You got Looney out there. Of course, you got Draymond, who going crazy as usual, doing what he do. And when I say going crazy, doing what he do, man, you can't go wrong with having a Draymond Green on your team, man. He's him of what he do. And nobody can keep that away. So I'm taking Golden State Warriors. I feel you, nephew. You going with the Golden State Warriors too. You're a smart man. Even though Curry off, he gonna drop a 30 ball tomorrow for the whole world on Christmas Day. Thank you, Curry, in advance from Level Up Sports 10, Moss Bird, Moss B, and that 223 and a half with the Golden State Warriors favored by 3.5. Man, at 223 has been a crazy number. I see around them 220s, but the 223 has been it. I definitely think that the game could be scored. I think that many points can be scored, with these two teams. But Golden State at home, man, 117, 100. That's 217. I'm going under in this one, man. I think it'll be a little bit of defense played on both ends to where this is Christmas Day. You're not going to see that. If they lose, they're not going to lose by much. If they do, it ain't much. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. I feel too. You said Christmas game, stars showing up. Yes, sir. Stars are definitely showing up on Christmas Day because they coming out there to get them big buckets, them Christmas Day buckets. That way they can have them a great Christmas evening or afternoon into their evening, depending on what time that their game is being played. So for me, I'm taking Curry, these Warriors, because Buddy Hield has definitely been a difference maker, in my opinion, for this team here as well. So I'm going with those Golden State Warriors. So make sure you stay tuned in for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game slate that they have going on with that NBA. And this last game we have going on with the NBA, I think is one of the quiet, but a game that's going to speak loud. You got that Denver at Phoenix. They going to the desert. We was just talking about the Joker today. Man, KD, Bill. What's that third leg? What's the third person over there? Booker. What's going on, man? What y'all doing over there, man? Y'all got the whole world thinking that sometimes y'all gonna pretty much win every year, and since y'all got together. But I'm really not seeing nothing, man. I'm really not seeing nothing, man, in this Phoenix team. And when I say I'm not seeing nothing, I'm talking about y'all should have had the chip already. I mean, that's just my thoughts, but that's why we play the game too. So with that being said, it's understandable in the game of basketball, but I want to see something. On Christmas Day, I want to see buckets because I'm choosing you, Phoenix. I'm choosing you, Phoenix. And I want to see what you're going to do against Joker in game. Denver and Phoenix going to be good too. Good matchups. Yeah, you're right, nephew. Some great matchups in this game. Some really, really good matchups. So I'm going to take KD, giving me about 20. Oh, 25. KD going to give me 25. Bill going to just give me a soft little 15 with a couple assists and a couple rebounds. Be a little more all around, but playing defense. But Buck, I need that 30 from you, buddy. I need that 30 ball at home. Christmas buckets, just like Curry's 30. You hear what I'm saying? So make sure you do that. And you said 20 plus KD. Yes, sir. 25 for KD, 30 for Booker, and Bill gonna chip in with a few little dollars. Other than that, that's gonna be it. So, just gave you, our picks, and it starts with, the Christmas game, Christmas Day basketball, and NFL football going to be going on at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock at the same time. I think NBA's tips off at 12, I believe. Then you got the NFL, of course, 1 o'clock, 4:30. Then you got the Thursday games on the NFL side, of course, and then the Saturday side of the NFL. But then the Christmas games, after that 12 o'clock game, you got that 3 o'clock, then you got that 5 o'clock, then you got that 8 o'clock, then you hitting that West Coast for that 10:30. I think 10:15, 10:30. So they hitting you with everything. All day Christmas basketball, football, as far as in just sports, man. So make sure you stay tuned in, locked in, man. And we're going to definitely come through with you with a little post-game feel of one of these games. I'm trying to think, man, it might be that Los Angeles Lakers Golden State Warriors post-game. We're going to talk about it in our little chat. I think that might be the post-game I want to do, talk about, and we'll dibble and dabble into a few other things and may even have some random thoughts and questions for the people. But for now, man, this is Moss Bird, Moss B, Level Up Sports 10, man. I'm just here, man, giving you just straight knowledge and picks of what we feel, how our thoughts be when it comes to these sports, man. So for all those watching, make sure you tap in. Make sure you hit us up. Myself, WTP Sports Dudes, Ask Somebody Podcast, City League TV, Zen Masters A, or Parlay Po, man. Hit us all up. We in one chain and we stay connected and we trying to come out. We trying to stream something that you got going live. It don't matter what the sport is. We're trying to come out. We're trying to see you. We're trying to see what's going on in that sport, that particular sport that we may have not dove in and seen in it with a different lens. Even if we play, we might not have seen it a different way. So let's tap in with you. But until then, man, Level Up Sports 10, WTP Sports Dudes, FanDuel Zen Master Zay, Ask Somebody, Many Man of Many Hats, City League TV, Parlay Po, gang, man, WTP Sports Dudes, man. We appreciate you. Just everything. Like, really appreciate it. And all the ones out there, all our fans, man, subscribing, liking, all those watching. Without you, wouldn't give us the time and opportunity to come and go harder, go more and more each day. And again, the guys that helping me out with that Go Pro. I have not figured it out yet. I'm about to pop the box open, try to get it on this charger, start trying to work it out and get it figured out, man, and start using that by our next game of the week we have on a high school circuit. So we just going to be coming out. We're going to be dropping massive content. And again, appreciate all our subscribers across the world, wherever you at. When you come in the chat, just say something. Chop it up with us. We're not going to have no problem going back and forth with you, having fun, enjoying what you do. And even if you want to jump in the stream with us and come in and be on this screen with us, let us know so we can get you in here and you can stay tuned in and locked in. And that might give you, something that you might enjoy and want to come in at times more. We got you. We love what we do. And we're going to keep bringing it to you. Funky flavor, our own type of way. The WTP Sports Dudes way. The Level Up Sports 10 way. And I'm going to keep talking it. The FanDuel Zen Master Zen way. The Parlay Po way. Man of Many Hats. City League TV. Ask Somebody. We're going to come all of them type of ways. And like we said, WTP Sports Dudes. Always. Peace. Throwing them T's up. Oh, my bad. Throwing them up. Peace, as we always say. Mad love. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We out.